Pinocchio. There once was an old man named Geppetto who made toys out of wood. He loved to watch the children play with his toys, and he wished that someday he would have a child of his own. One day, Geppetto spent many hours carving a very nice puppet. He got very tired and fell into a deep sleep. Geppetto started dreaming. He saw a very strange dream. The puppet smiled at Geppetto. "Hello," the puppet said. "Oh my," said Geppetto. "You are the finest toy I have ever made. I will call you Pinocchio." In his dream, Geppetto saw that Pinocchio was very excited to explore the world. "Real boys need to go to school to learn," Geppetto said. Pinocchio wanted so much to become a real boy, and he wanted to please his father. He hugged his father goodbye, and he fell in line behind the other children who were on their way to school. "Stay out of trouble," Geppetto shouted out the door. "I promise I will," said Pinocchio. Pinocchio did not get far before he saw a puppet show taking place on a large stage. He longed to join the dancing puppet, so he bounded onto the stage. Twisting and twirling, he danced all around. It was not long before the puppeteer stopped the show and forced Pinocchio to leave. "You belong in school," the puppeteer said. Pinocchio then remembered his promise to Geppetto. He started off in the direction the children had taken, hoping he was not too late. Pinocchio was walking as fast as he could when a fox and a cat jumped into his path. Pinocchio stepped back in surprise. "Excuse me," he said. "I am late for school." "School?" the fox exclaimed. "School is boring. You should go to the island of toys, where real boys play all day long. We can sell you a ticket." Wanting so much to be a real boy, Pinocchio sold his school book and spent the money on the ticket. Pinocchio started off toward the island of toys. Geppetto's dream went on. He dreamed that the road led into the woods, where Pinocchio came upon a beautiful young girl who stood outside a white cottage. She asked Pinocchio to come in. Pinocchio followed her, not knowing she was a fairy in disguise. "Pinocchio, why have you disobeyed your father?" the fairy asked. Pinocchio was shocked. I have not disobeyed my father," he said in protest. "Then why are you not in school?" asked the fairy. I am on my way to school," Pinocchio lied. "I am late because I had to help an old man." Suddenly, Pinocchio's nose began to grow. "Pinocchio," said the fairy, "if you are good and honest, you will someday become a real boy." Pinocchio looked ashamed. The fairy took pity on him and returned his nose to normal. Pinocchio promised to be good and honest. He told the fairy he would go straight to school. Geppetto's dream went on. Pinocchio had barely rounded the corner from the little cottage when he ran into another little boy going in the opposite direction. "Where are you going?" the little boy asked. The island of toys is this way. But I am on my way to school, Pinocchio said. You can go to school some other time, the boy said. Pinocchio followed the boy. They took a boat to the island of toys. On the island, little boys ran and played and jumped around. All day long, Pinocchio and his friend had a great time playing games. All of the running made Pinocchio thirsty, so he stopped at a drinking fountain. When Pinocchio looked at his reflection in the water, he shrieked. He had long ears and a tail like a donkey. Pinocchio looked at his friends and saw that they turned into donkeys too. Panicking, Pinocchio ran to the shore. Out in the distance, Geppetto struggled to paddle a small boat. Pinocchio tried to call out to Geppetto, but all that came out was a loud hee-haw. Pinocchio decided he would swim out to his father. He was nearing his father's boat when out of the water came a huge whale. In one large gulp, the whale swallowed the boat and Geppetto too. Pinocchio could not believe his eyes. He had to save his father. Pinocchio made his way toward the whale. When the whale opened its mouth again, Pinocchio swam inside. Geppetto's dream turned into a nightmare. The whale swallowed Pinocchio. In the whale's stomach, Pinocchio noticed his hooves had turned back into hands. He was no longer a donkey. "Father! Father!" he called out. Geppetto heard Pinocchio's voice. "Pinocchio, my boy, where are you?" "I am here, Father," Pinocchio said. He swam to Geppetto's boat and climbed in. Geppetto was overjoyed. "Now, how are we going to get out of here?" Geppetto asked. Pinocchio cried. "I have an idea." Grabbing the oar, Pinocchio paddled the boat toward the whale's mouth. When the whale opened its mouth to snore, Pinocchio paddled out. The nightmare was over, and Geppetto's happy dream went on again. He saw that he and Pinocchio made it home safely, and from then on, Pinocchio was a good boy. He went to school every day, and he helped Geppetto with his daily chores. Pinocchio brought great joy to Geppetto's life. When Geppetto woke up, he felt both happy and sad at the same time. He was happy because he spent nice moments in his dream with a great fatherhood feeling, and sad because it was nothing but a dream, and Pinocchio would not be with him any more. He was just a wood puppet.